Hi. In this video, I'm going to go over how I found the perfect career path for me. Like many of you doing any type of research on the internet, you probably came across people telling you to be passionate. I honestly never fully understood that word or that concept. And if you look it up in dictionary.com, it's something like an uncontrollable emotion or the suffering and death of Jesus. To me, that's just too intense. I'm a very even-tempered person. These people saying that you needed to be passionate weren't really passionate themselves. They were just kind of giving lip service, and really they just had their job because it made them a lot of money. I'm going to go over the 5 steps that will help you give more clarity on what you want to do for your career and your life. The first step is mindset. I put this one first because if you have certain beliefs, they're almost like malware. There are 3 really large common beliefs that stop people from really doing anything. And those ones are that they might make a mistake, waste their time, or that it's too competitive. These 3 beliefs will basically prevent you from doing anything. Let's start with the first one. You're afraid of making a mistake. For instance, I get a lot of questions about whether you should do cybersecurity or IT or cloud. They're afraid of making a mistake. Really, you just need to choose one of them, and if you get a job in it and decide that you hate it, it really wasn't a mistake because there is no waste. In nature, waste is actually regenerative. It becomes food for another creature. Just because you hate cybersecurity and you think you're wasting your life in this job that you hate, you actually probably have gained a lot of really good skills that can help you in your next venture. For me personally, I joined the Army, which I really did not like. It wasn't really for me. So was that a mistake? No. Because I learned how to work in groups, which I really wasn't good at before I joined the Army. There's always something to learn if you think you're wasting your time, because I guarantee you, whatever situation you're in, there's probably something that you can learn from it. The second one is that it's too competitive. And this is one that will prevent a lot of people from doing a lot of different things. For instance, say you want to start a YouTube channel, but you have this belief that it's too competitive, then you're never going to act upon it. That there are no jobs and they're all being outsourced to a different country, but that's kind of the wrong way to think about it. Are some things competitive? Yeah, I guess, but that's because everybody is copying each other. All you have to really do is create something new from your perspective. Say you look at the travel niche, because I'm personally doing this right now. And you're like, wow, it's so competitive, this travel niche. But if you go and you look at all of those travel videos, usually they're the same thing. They're just doing the same 5, 10 sites as everybody else, a very superficial view, not really any perspective. They're just kind of just copying what other people are doing that had viral videos. Instead, a better way to do that is find something that you're personally interested in and see how it mixes with travel. So for me personally, I really like learning about the art of a culture. So I'm looking at this travel niche and I'm like, man, I could definitely create a YouTube channel all about just exploring the art of different countries. I'm simply just going to explore the local culture and the art and how it affects like the economy. To make myself stand out even more, I would actually personally go and do these arts, and I would have really good storytelling and film shots, and it would be just a ton of fun to do this. I don't see anybody doing this. I think it's because people are just copying any niche that you have that may seem competitive. There's really almost no competition if you put your own unique perspective on it. Everything that you learn can open up new doorways. So nothing is a waste to learn. And you can't make a mistake, and there is no wasted time. Brings me to my second thing is you need to explore your curiosity and different avenues. In the last 10 years, I have worked a lot of different roles, probably like 12. I've held multiple roles at each job title. I've been like a network admin, system administrator, network engineer, web application, firewall engineer, IT support. I've done vulnerability management and patching and all of that fun stuff. I have done auditing. I am now starting a new job within my same company, working with cloud and network engineering type of stuff. I was also in the Army. I've done a lot of different types of things. And that's because I really just didn't know what I wanted to do, and some of them honestly I didn't really like. Because I have such like a broad perspective, I would be really good, say, as a chief information security officer, because I have the big picture of everything, and I would have never have gotten that experience if I hadn't tried a lot of different things and then moved around a lot, despite what they may say about job hopping. In the technical world, you should job hop as much as possible. On top of that career, I also explored different avenues through side hustle. For instance, I had a blog where I blogged about different things, and that actually introduced me to the world of search engine optimization, writing articles and the structure of articles, marketing, sales, Pinterest traffic. This blog maybe made me like $300 a month, which really is not a lot compared to how much time I put into it. But what it did teach me is it taught me a lot of different skills that I now use in this YouTube channel, which is a little bit more successful than that blog. I also started Amazon FBA and failed miserably. I lost a lot of money, but what I did learn, because there is no waste, right? Or making a mistake, I learned that I really didn't like physical products, and I also learned you can't copy other people. You have to have a unique product or perspective. I've taken so many different courses. Right now I'm learning how to oil paint. I'm also just took a filmmaking course, so that goes along with my art travel vlog that I may or may not make. I've taken courses on databases, project management. I have a degree in cybersecurity and GIS. I've done just a whole bunch of things. It was good because it gave me skills to then go and do something that I maybe did like. I much prefer doing this YouTube channel over blogging or Amazon FBA.
It was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards.
Which leads me to my next part, is know yourself. I put this as the third part because I don't really think you can know yourself without doing all of these experiences and having this input and figuring out what you like and what you don't like by how it makes you feel. The other part is figure out what motivates you. I recently just read a book called Wanting: The Power of Mimetic Desire in Everyday Life. And this book blew my mind because he talks about how what you think that you want, right? Your desires, you think you want 100K a month. Why do you want 100K a month? Maybe it's just because someone that you thought is cool has 100K a month. Or why do you want a Tesla? When you start to evaluate your motivations and your desires, you're going to start to realize a lot of those desires aren't real desires. They're simply given to you by advertisements or influencers on YouTube. He has several tools to figure out your true desires and what really motivates you. The first one is the M-Code assessment, which I actually did take. I'm very skeptical about these personality tests, but this one, it's good to give you a piece of data, and you can go take it if you have no idea what you want to do in your life. It has you go through 3 different stories and then rate how they made you feel. So it's what you enjoy doing, believe you did well, and found deeply satisfying. Here are the results from mine. For me personally, what motivates me, and I find this to be pretty accurate, is I like to explore, I like to demonstrate new learning, comprehend and express, achieve, potential, and advance. It goes deeper into the positive attributes and shadow attributes, nailed it pretty well. I easily get distracted day to day by new possibilities, such as this new art vlog that I am going to create. I can be indecisive and quick decisions can be difficult. That is definitely me. It's a really good place to start, and I find it better than the majority of personality tests. He also goes into a second tool, and that is to figure out what your real desires are from like ones that are basically given to you through meditative thought. There are 2 types of thoughts. There's calculating thought, and then there is meditative thought. And calculating thought is what most people are used to using. But he's saying by going into meditative thought, you can decipher from your real desires and your false desires. And that's basically just slowing down your mind. And I personally meditate, and also oil painting for me. So oil painting just slows down your mind to where you can really feel different feelings. The next step is to focus on the feeling and not a specific job or career. Your entire life, you've been told that you need to find that one career and that there's only one thing that you're supposed to do for the rest of your life. But to be honest, the world is changing so fast that that one career may only last you about 5 years. Focus on the feeling of it while you are doing it. So for me personally, I really like exploring, teaching, and learning new things, along with working towards some goal. And so the 3 things I have right now are: number 1, I really like tech because I get to learn new things, explore, teach, I'm doing this YouTube channel, and work towards some goal. That's not the only thing. I have this other project I'm thinking about starting, about going traveling and then exploring the art of different cultures. That satisfies all 4 of those things: exploring, learning, teaching, and working towards some goal. And then maybe I'll open up an art school at some point that teaches people realism oil painting because I really like it. That's my retirement plan. I might even go into a 3rd channel where I help the corporate world upskill their employees. That would be an entirely different YouTube channel and career in itself. It satisfies those 4 things. I'm learning new things, exploring, teaching, and advancing towards some goal. So decipher what the feeling that you want to feel is. Think beyond your job. There's never been another time with more opportunity than right now. Decipher, what do you need in a job? How do you want to feel? And then go backwards from there. The next one is to get a job as quickly as possible and don't go into debt. When you graduate, you go to college for 4 years, and then if you're a doctor and lawyer, maybe 8 or 10 years. The thing is, work can teach you a lot of really good lessons, what you like and what you don't like. So by working, you're gaining way more experience than you ever would in a degree program, and you're probably saving a lot of money. A lot of college graduates have tons of debt, and that actually prevents them from taking risks at the age of 21. It's very sad. Some jobs you do need degrees, but how about getting a job within that industry? For instance, if you want to become a doctor, why not get an IT support job at a hospital and then see how the doctors are? Shadow that industry before taking on $200,000 of debt. Work at a crappy entry-level job. That goes on to my second point, is make sure to keep your expenses low, because debt can be a trap. I remember I had a $700 lease payment when I was 25, and that was horrid. Debt can trap you. That concludes how to find the perfect career. I hope that helped you a little bit. Some tips I have: if you're wanting to change your career, just start where you are now. Don't go and quit your job. Just start with an hour or 2 every day on changing your career. And remember, you can't make a mistake and there is no waste. So you're not wasting that 1 to 2 hours, even if you decide you don't want to go down that path. At least you learned something from it. See what skills you can leverage to go into a different career. For instance, if you're a nurse and want to go into cybersecurity, you know a lot more about me than the medical field and HIPAA, and you could probably use those skills and leverage them to become a security auditor without that much more training. Also, make your career your own business. When I say that I mean nobody cares more than you about your career or exactly what you do. Your employer doesn't really care, and they will let you go if you displease someone at the company, or you're not performing, or you get sick. But just remember that you're a business. Your career is just a business, and you're providing them a service. So don't get too attached on any employer, because you're just honestly an expense. If you stop making them money, then they will let you go. And a really good way to check if you are on the right path is imagine yourself on your deathbed, and if you had to do what you are doing for the rest of your life, would you do that? And if the answer is no, then maybe you're not on the right path. And to end it with Steve Jobs.
On the back cover of their final issue was a photograph of an early morning country road, the kind you might find yourself hitchhiking on if you were so adventurous. Beneath it were the words, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." It was their farewell message as they signed off. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
I have tons of other videos if you want to get started in cybersecurity or just learn general cybersecurity topics, so go check those out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.